I want to touch on the topic of 2 days Rosh HaShana, 2 days of the Yom Tov, what the difference is, and what the problem, why there's a suffix about Shachayanu. So we'll speak about that a little bit, then we'll go into the Tshuva for Rav Mendel. There's a machlekes in the Mishnah in Erev. There's a machlekes of Besi, the Chachamim. If you can make an Erev on Rosh HaShana from one day to the next, meaning Talach is Erev Techumim. Right, you make an Erev Techumim, you're living here, but you're only allowed to go 2,000 Amos out of your city. That's the Talach of Erev Techumim. Now a person wants to go to the next city, but the next city is 3,000 Amos away, you can't go there. So what do? You go, let's say, 1,500 Amos out of your city, you coin a shvisa in that place, say here is my home for Shabbos, and now your tchum goes 2,000 amos each way from that place. That's called tchumah. We have to be coin a shvisa before Shabbos. So the shaila is, if it comes Shabbos and Yom Tov. Shabbos and Yom Tov, let's say Shabbos is Shabbos, and then Sunday is Yom Tov, and a regular, even Eretz Yisrael. So the machlokes, if I could say, that Shabbos, I'm kind of shvisa in my house, and Sunday and Yom Tov, my shvisa should be 1,500 amos out of the city. So machlekes, if you could do, what's the machlekes? So machlekes is that we say that it's kedusha achas or 2 different kedushas, meaning Shabbos and Yom Tov is like one big kedusha, you can't split it. Or we say no, Shabbos is its kedusha, Yom Tov has its kedusha, and therefore you could pick. Shabbos should be my shvisa at home, and Sunday, Yom Tov, my shvisa should be outside the city. That's the thing I was talking about over there. Now the question comes, even if you hold, let's say, it's Kedusha Achas, it's one Kedusha. The question is, by 2 days Yom Tov, let's say Sukkot. Now the reason why we keep 2 days Yom Tov on Sukkot is why? It's because in Eretz Yisrael, the Mekadosh, the Chodesh, and not everybody knew about it. So in Bavel, in Chutz La'aretz, when it came time to Pesach, to Shavuos, to Sukkot, we didn't actually know which day was Rosh Chodesh. It was a suffix for us. Therefore, they kept 2 days Yom Tov, Sveika D'Yom. Suffix which day is Yom Tov, they kept Yom Tov 2 days. Now that Sveika D'Yom that we have, 2 days Yom Tov, and still today, either the first day is Yom Tov, or the second day is Yom Tov. It's not both. It's either or. Either Yudalit, our Yudalit is Yom Tov, or our Tezvav is Yom Tov. It's called Sveika D'Yom. Therefore, everyone agrees that it's not one big Yom Tov, not one Kedusha. It's 2 separate Yom Tov. And I'll give you an example, which is in the Erev this year. Yom Tov is Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. Now we know you have to make Erev Tavshillen. On Wednesday you have to make an Erev Tavshillen. In order to cook from Friday to Shabbos, you have to have an Erev Tavshillen. Now if Yom Tov falls out on Friday, Shabbos, there's no issues. You make an Erev Tavshillen on Thursday, and then on Friday you're allowed to cook for Shabbos. Now that Yom Tov is Thursday, Friday, and then Shabbos, so you make Erev Tavshillen on Wednesday. Somebody forgot to make an Erev Tavshillen on Wednesday. What's the halacha? The halacha is on Thursday, he can make an Erev Tavshillen Manushach. If today is Yom Tov, then tomorrow is Chol. Anybody could cook for any Chol day, Friday to Shabbos. If tomorrow is Yom Tov and today is Chol, so today I can make an Erev Tavshillen. So that's in a regular Sukkot this year, Simchas Torah this year. If someone forgets to make the Erev Tavshillen on Wednesday, you can make it on Thursday. You can make this tonight. You can make it tonight.
What's wrong with taking one on Yom Tov?
On Friday or on Thursday?
No, on Yom Tov. On Yom Tov. Like, what's wrong with making an Erev Tavshillen mamish on Yom Tov? What malacha are you over?
No, don't malacha. You want to do lechatchila on Thursday?
Yeah, why do you have to make it tonight then?
On Thursday or on Friday?
On Thursday.
No. The question, tonight is you make Erev Tavshillen on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
If it's Yom Tov,
yeah,
then today, then you don't need Erev Tavshillen.
Uh-huh. tomorrow's chol.
You say what to make it tonight for?
Yeah.
Make it on Thursday just in case. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's basically what you're saying. Making it today just in case tomorrow is Yom Tov and today is chol.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with making Erev Tavshillen. That's all very good on a regular Yom Tov. This Sukkot, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's fine. The question starts Rosh HaShana. Now Rosh HaShana is a whole different thing. Rosh HaShana is not only at Tzveika D'Yema, and we'll explain it as best as we can. The times of the Beis HaMikdash, Rosh HaShana is the first day of the Chodesh. So it came the day after Chav Tes of Elul, Lamed Elul, or maybe Aleph Tishrei. Now we don't know if today is really Aleph Tishrei or not. It depends. If Eidim are going to come and say we saw the new moon, so today is Aleph Tishrei, today is Rosh Hashanah. If Eidim don't come and say they saw the new moon, then today is Lamed Elul, and tomorrow is Aleph Tishrei, is Rosh Hashanah. So even in the place where the Beis HaMikdash was, even in Eretz Yisrael, they weren't sure the whole day of Lamed. They're not sure, is it Rosh Hashanah, is it not Rosh Hashanah? So they kept it as if it was Rosh Hashanah. Misafik, maybe the Eidim are going to come today, and today is Rosh Hashanah. That was all fine till it came time to the carbon Tamid Shabbeinu Rabbayim. When it came time to the carbon of Tamid Shabbeinu Rabbayim, that second Tamid, you had to say a certain shira with the carbon. And the problem was, if it's Rosh Hashanah, there's one shira. If it's Chayil, it's a different one. So what happened was, it came time for Mincha, and Eidim didn't show up. So they said the regular Chayil shira shal yom. Then, an hour later, Eidim show up and say, we're here. Today is Rosh Hashanah. So what happened was, they just ruined the shira shal yom. It's the wrong shira shal yom. So if you accept the Eidim now, and you make today Rosh Hashanah, the skalkel b'shir, says the Gemara. Then when the skalkel with the shir shal yom, and they ruined the shir shal yom. Therefore, there was a takana that, we're not makabel Eidim in a mincha l'mayla. They did not accept Eidim from mincha and on.
What happened to Tikei Shofar on this?
They blew shofar in the morning, everything as if it was Rosh Hashanah b'safik.
That's just in the main Mikdash, because the surrounding areas till they found out.
Right, so that's okay. So we'll get to that. So we'll get So we'll get to that. So we'll get to that in a second. I'm talking now in the Beis HaMikdash itself. In the Beis HaMikdash itself. So what happened was, if Eidim didn't come at all, so that day was a regular Chol day, and the next day was Rosh Hashanah. If Eidim came in a Mincha L'Ma'ah, we didn't accept them, but Bezdin says, since Eidim came, and it should really be Rosh Hashanah today, we're not going to accept them because we don't want to be Mekalkal this year. Therefore we say, the rest of the day today is Chodesh. The rest of today is as if it's Rosh Hashanah, and then tomorrow also will be Rosh Hashanah. That's what the Gemara calls Yema Richta. And that the Gemara calls, if that happens, so today and tomorrow both are Rosh Hashanah, one big day of Rosh Hashanah. That's where it came from, this whole thing of Kedusha Achas. It's one long day of Rosh Hashanah. That happened in the Beis HaMikdash. In Chutz La'aretz, Rosh Hashanah also they didn't know. Every Yom Tov they didn't know. It was a regular Tzveika D'Yema.
The rest of Israel didn't know.
The rest of Israel, nobody knew, yeah. So it's a regular Tzveika D'Yema in Chutz La'aretz. The question is, did Chutz La'aretz get the same din as Eretz Yisrael? The Eretz Yisrael was possible, the first day was nothing, and it's also possible the first day was Yom Tov, and the second day was Yom Tov, Kedusha Achas. One long Kedusha. In Bavel, or for other places in Eretz Yisrael, they had no idea what happened in Eretz Yisrael. So they kept 2 days, Misafik. But maybe they should be keeping the same way as in Eretz Yisrael they had one long day, they should also keep one long day. So that's a machlokes in the Gemara.
At some point they would have kept... Lamed would have hit, they wouldn't have heard anything.
Right.
They would have kept the next day now.
With Chutz La'aretz.
Right?
Yeah. They kept Lamed, but they kept Lamed with what din? The din of Tzveika D'Yema? Or the same din as
Rosh Hashanah, because it comes out right in the beginning of the month.
Right.
Another Yom Tov is not a problem because it's in the middle of the month.
Right. It's only Rosh Hashanah.
That's the biggest issue.
It's only Rosh Hashanah. So in Rosh Hashanah is the only Yom Tov that was such a concept of Kedusha Achas. There was one long Kedusha. Where? In the Beis HaMikdash itself. So the question is, how does that affect Chutz La'aretz? That's a machlokes in the Gemara.
Isn't it a question how it affects the rest of Israel, not just Chutz La'aretz?
Yeah, even the rest of Israel, yeah. Even the rest of Israel, correct.
Because if
It's
they
a
came
time.
10 minutes before.
Right,
midnight.
and the Chanami, even the rest of Israel.
Yeah.
So the question is, how did we look at Rosh HaShana? Do we look at it as one long Kedusha, or is it a Sveika D'Yema like every other Yom Tov? That's the Shaila on Rosh HaShana. So we hold that Rosh HaShana is Kedusha Achas. It's one long Yom Tov. If it's one long Yom Tov, therefore, it's not called a Sveika D'Yema. Now, it comes Thursday. I didn't make my Erev Tavshillen on Wednesday. So I want to come Thursday and make my Erev Tavshillen misafik. A suffix today is Yom Tov, suffix tomorrow is Yom Tov. For Rosh HaShana you can't do that. Rosh HaShana you can't do it because it's Yom HaRichta. It's one long day. Thursday, Friday is one long day. They say when you can't make an Erev Tavshillen Friday morning, Friday afternoon, you can't make an Erev Tavshillen Thursday for Friday on Rosh HaShana. Because it's Yom HaRichta. So if that's the case, then why, on a regular Yom Tov of Sukkot, let's say, we make Kiddush the first night, the second night, we say Shechayonu the first night, we say Shechayonu the second night, regular Miseka D'Yema. That's only because maybe yesterday wasn't Yom Tov, today is Yom Tov, you have to make a Shechayonu again today for the Yom Tov. But Rosh HaShana you don't have that. If it's one long day, so you don't have that, you don't have to make a Shechayonu the second night. You don't have to make the second night. Some Rishonim hold.
That's why we're tired.
Yeah.
Some Rishonim hold that even though it's a Yom HaRichta, still is a chiyuv to make a Shechayon the second night. It's machlokes Rishonim. Therefore, we don't know who to paskin like, it's a suffix. So we're machmer. We say make a Shechayon the second night, but have a new fruit. The Shechayon should be going on that misafik. We have to be careful. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and have the Shechayonu. They think the Shechayonu is only for the fruit. Then you ruin it. When you make Kiddush the second night, you should have in mind that if the Shechayonu is not for the Kiddush, it should be for the fruit. But don't have in mind only the fruit.
That's why some women don't like.
Right. So that's the next step. That's the next step. So the Shechayonu by Kiddush is for the fruit. So there's two halachas that come out of this. First of all, when you make Kiddush, the Shechayonu is going maybe on the fruit. Therefore, if you go wash and then eat the Shechayonu after you wash, this had a hefsek. You made Shechayonu and Kiddush, it may be going on the fruit, maybe not, suffix. On the tzad that it's going on the fruit, and you're going to wash, then you have a hefsek from the Shechayonu. Therefore, the best thing to do is you make Kiddush, you make the Shechayonu, you make her eight on the fruit right away, you eat a piece of the fruit, and then you go wash.
Have in mind fruit, you make the Shechayonu.
Have in mind fruit, you make the Shechayonu, and eat the fruit, and then go wash.
At what point are you drinking the wine for the kiddush?
Right away. You drink the wine. First thing is you drink the wine. After you drink the wine, you'll make a ha'etz and eat the fruit.
So you do kiddush, drink the wine, and then say shechayanu.
No, you make kiddush, shechayanu, you drink the wine, and then you'll eat the fruit right afterwards. Someone told me, Shem Yashiv, that he said you could eat the fruit after you wash. I'm not sure why. But
why wouldn't you drink the wine after?
Earlier, that's right.
Forgot to make what?
You forgot to make the shechayonu for the fruit. You forgot to eat the fruit right after the kiddush. That's
Yes, you could eat. No, but the question is,
Why wouldn't you make kiddush, drink the wine, say shechayonu, ha'etz, and eat the fruit?
well, the shech is not going on the kiddush. Shechayonu has to be going on the chais.
I see.
Just have in mind.
Shechayonu goes on the chais. You make shechayonu always on the chais. Besides Yom Kippur.
And I understand there's a suffix between what the shechina applies to, but if it is actually applying to the fruit, then isn't the shechina a hefsek between saying Bri Pri Hagafen and drinking the wine? Then?
No, the first shechina is after the Bri Pri Hagafen. Oh, is the shechina a hefsek? Yeah, okay, fine. It's a good question. If the shechina is not going on the kiddush, it's on the fruit, so it's a hefsek. You say Bri Pri Hagafen,
You're drinking the wine.
and then you didn't drink the wine yet, and you're saying shechina beforehand. You're right. You're right. But Misafrik to let you do that. Misafrik to let you do that. So that's one thing. And
It's not a big house. Usually you drink, eat.
no, he's asking the opposite question. If the shechina is not going on the kiddush, only on the fruit, then when you make a Bri Pri Hagafen, and you're saying a shechina before you drink the wine.
So let's get it one more time. Kiddush.
Kiddush, Shechianu,
drink the wine,
and then you eat the fruit right away.
eat the fruit,
And then you go wash. For eight?
Eat the fruit.
Yeah, about the eight and the fruit, yes.
Eat the fruit.
And then go wash. Then go wash.
Okay, and benching takes care of the after bracha.
Yeah. We'll get to that soon. But after bracha. So that's one thing. And there's another thing people have a chumrah, that the ladies who are benching licht also have the same issue. The ladies who are lighting the candles also have a suffix shechianu. So they're making a shechianu on the lighting of the candles, and then later on, by Kiddush, they're going to have the fruit. So what happened to them?
They don't got the kiddush either.
Huh?
They don't got the kiddush
Yeah,
either.
yeah. So what happened to them? What happened to their shechianu? So that's why a lot of people are makbid. Second night, anyway, it comes out the same with most people. Right before the husband makes kiddush, the wife lights the candles, says shechianu. The husband makes kiddush, he says shechianu, and then they eat the fruit.
Or some women don't make the shechianu on the candles.
And they rely on the husband's kiddush. Okay.
I was going to say, 'cause sometimes there's a bigger gap than that.
Isn't there a problem being
Right.
somebody else in Shechianu?
They'll light right after Zman, and we're not home from shul for another
Right. That's why
20 minutes.
Right, that's why some people are makbid. The ladies shouldn't light
Right.
after this man.
Right.
They should wait. Wait till later on, light then.
So what's
Does the principle of Shemeach Ke'ona apply to Shechianu like with any other bracha? Like at Kiddush time?
No.
When there's a whole bunch of men listening to your Kiddush.
Yeah, you can read some shmeich.
You'll say them also with
Yeah, Shechianu. Yeah.
Just like any other bracha.
So shechianu can be bechas hashvach, and but you're mechuyev in it. You're mechuyev in the bracha. So if you're not mechuyev in the bracha, maybe you shouldn't make it. But if you're mechuyev in the bracha, you definitely can invite somebody else.
Can you just review one more time the women's options?
So women's options. So a lot of people are makbid that ladies, to have the lady say shechianu by halachas neiris without any payers on the table, nothing. What's going on? Why is she different than the husband? Why is she different than the man? They share the same suffix we have. So you can't ignore that. You can't go and say, yeah, ladies, bench and say shechianu, and then have to worry about the fruit. Why not? Why are they different than us? That's what they're the same as us. Some people have the fruit on the table, they light whatever they want, they have in mind the fruit, they'll eat the fruit later on, which is also okay. Some people have a chumrah that they won't even rely on that. They'll make the wife sindlich right before they make kiddush. She'll light the candles, make a shechianu. Right away, the husband will make kiddush to his shechianu, and then they'll eat the fruit together. Not to have a big hefsek between her shechianu on the candles till you eat the fruit.
She could do it on new garment or a piece of jewelry.
Sure, it's even better. That's even better. If she has a new garment or new jewelry, I'll tell you from my knowing.
But she should make the shechianu right after she puts the new garment on. She shouldn't wait an hour and a half and make the shechianu.
No, so you could.
Yeah?
She could put on the new garment, and then when she lights it, it's still called new. It's still a new garment. You're still wearing it. It's still the first time you're wearing it.
No, that's not ties.
So some people do for expensive time.
Actually, I asked somebody today, can I make a shechianu on a hat? He said no. It should be a beggar, a cloth. A hat is not included. I thought a hat would be good because a hat is something special.
So you said not?
That's $75. I think it's very good.
Yeah. It's just fryable for sure. Okay, so that's the lachna shechianu. Then you have the issue with the batkei the second day, but that's already a different child.
Erev Tavshillen, people may not be aware that you can't cook on Thursday for Shabbos.
You cannot cook on Thursday for Shabbos, correct.
Friday for Shabbos.
Correct.
You can't even transfer
Friday
Right.
night either.
No, people may think,
Right.
if I
Right.
can't cook, but in other words, people say, well, Friday I'm going to be so busy, I'm going to cook on Thursday.
Right.
You don't
Unless-
cook on Friday.
It's
You're not cook. No, even some eatzimit. If you're being marba for Yom Tov, you're not allowed. If you say you're cooking for now, then you're fine. But if you're cooking for Yom Tov alone, you can't do it. Even if you say, okay, someone should come eat for me. It's not.
It also has to be finished. It has to be edible before Shabbos.
Right.
So you can't make a chunk 5 minutes before Shabbos.
Actually, I want to ask a question. What's the principle that has to be finished? I was asked a question. What if I peel potatoes that I'm going to boil? And I use that for the Erev Tavshillen?
That's not good enough.
Because you've started the cooking
No, it
process.
has to be cooked. It has to be full. It has to be ready to eat.
Why?
So Erev Tavshillen has to be that you did your cooking Erev Yom Tov. Not that you're starting to cook. You're cooking Erev Yom Tov.
It was finished.
Yeah, something was finished Erev Yom Tov.
Thank you.
That's Erev Tavshillen. Yeah, it has to be ready. That's why in Halacha it says that on Yom Tov this year, any Yom Tov is Thursday, Friday, and Shabbos, or Friday and Shabbos. So it's better to be Mekabel Shabbos early, because if you're Mekabel Shabbos early, then the food is definitely ready by the time Shabbos comes.
Not if you start cooking it before it's not.
If you start cooking it, if you put up the challah right before you go to Mincha, right? Then you're making Shabbos early. Let's say this year, Friday, right?
Yeah.
Put up the challah, and then you Mekabel Shabbos early.
Yeah.
By the time it's night, it's for sure cooked.
No, it has to be ready before night.
Before night. Then by the time it's night, it's already cooked. If you make regular Shabbos, so what happens is you may put it up right before Shabbos, and then then go to shul. So then it's not fully cooked.
I was told by Rabbi Shachar it's fine if you put right before Shabbos because you can't eat anyway.
No. That's already on a regular Friday.
Regular
Friday, but on if you're relying on Erev Tavshillen, the reason why it has to be ready is because
in case guests. Okay.
Because we really now let it cook from Friday to Shabbos.
Right.
Now cook from Yom Tov to Shabbos. There's something called Hoyel. Hoyel v'Kloyach. We rely on the fact that maybe someone will come and will eat it. Guests will come and you're cooking it for them. If it's not ready to eat, you don't have the Hoyel.
That's right.
So then you basically is cooking from Friday to Shabbos. You can't do that.
Even with the Erev Tavshillen. Erev Tavshillen doesn't help you for that.
No, it doesn't help for that. Erev Tavshillen helps, lets the Hoyel work.
Yeah.
Lets the Hoyel work. Fine. I'll speak about a little bit about Tshuva Rosh HaShana. Just repeat a little bit what I said yesterday. In last week's parasha it said, "Atam netzav mayam kolchem lefnei Hashem elokechem, zeknechem, shetrechem." And the Zohar says over there, "Atam netzav mayam kolchem, hayom zu Rosh HaShana." Today, hayom, the famous day, what's hayom? Hey Yidiyah, zu Rosh HaShana. And the obvious question is, what does Rosh HaShana have to do with these psukim? The whole psukim afterwards are talking about Ovachem Bris, Hashem made bris with Klal Yisrael. What does Atam Netzav Mayom Kulchem have to do with Rosh HaShana? And the truth is, there's another question. Atam Netzav Mayom, Netzav Lashon is standing. Netzav person is standing. We know a Jew never stands. A Jew is always a hoylech. He's always moving further and further. He doesn't stay still. Malachim are oimdim. But Klal Yisrael, again, we are halchim. So, what's Rosh Hashanah? Atam Netzav Mayom, says the Zohar, Hayem is Rosh Hashanah, and when Netzavim Moimdim, we're standing still. Why are we standing still for? If anything, Rosh Hashanah should be a day that we're trying to move forward. We're halchim, we're going ahead. Why is it called Atam Netzav Mayom? Today is Rosh Hashanah. So I want to answer this question with halacha mechas Kriya Shema. So the halacha by Kriya Shema is that the first part of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, you have to have kavanah. Now this kavanah is not regular kavanah for mitzvahs. A regular mitzvah, you take a lulav, you have to be mechaven, I want to be yotze the mitzvah's lulav. By Shema it's more than that. You can't just say I'm having kavanah to be yotze the mitzvah's Kriya Shema. You have to be mechaven, meaning you have to know what you're saying in those words. If you say Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, you have no idea what you're saying, even though you know I want to be mechaven, I want to be yotze the mitzvah of Kriya Shema, you're not yotze. You have to understand what you're saying. That's the halacha of Shema. And therefore, there's another halacha by Shema, that if you're walking and you want to say Shema, you have to stand. So you can't continue, you have to stop.
Right.
You can't, yes. You cannot say Shema while you're walking. While you're walking, you can't say Shema, you have to stop, say the first part of Shema, and then you can continue walking. You have to be oimid, you have to stop and you say Kriya Shema. But if you're hoylech, you're walking, you can't be into the mitzvah. Why?
But the prokim of Shema, you could say walking.
Yeah. How the prokim you could. The first one not. The first Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, you can't. And the Rashba says the reason for that is why you have to stop is because a person is walking. Ain't a minute din that you should mekabel a malchus shemayim when you're walking. You can't do that. You have to take every machshava out of your mind. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. It's kabbalah malchus shemayim. That's what we're doing basically. That Hashem is the creator of the world, and we mekabel upon ourselves that He's the one who created the world. If you have anything else in mind besides that, you can't be mekabel al malchus shemayim correctly. That's what the Rashba says.
So if someone doesn't understand Hebrew, is it more optimal for them to say it in English?
Correct. Yeah, for sure. So the Rav says a chiddush. Therefore, every mitzvah, a lulav, let's say, take a lulav. You have a mind. You want to be yetzer the chi of a lulav before you shake it, and while you're shaking, your mind is wandering elsewhere. You yetzer the mitzvah, even though your mitzvah tzrichas kavana. As long as you're mechavan to be yetzer the mitzvah, you yetzer the mitzvah. Mashayin came by Shema. If you have a mind to be yetzer the mitzvah, then your mind wanders. You're not yetzer Kriya Shema. You have to be mechavan every word of Kriya Shema what you're saying. The mechabel al malchus shemayim.
Does that apply to the Kriya Shema Yisrael by when you take out the Sefer Torah?
No, it's not a mitzvah Kriya Shema. It's yeah. So therefore,
But it would in the evening as well.
in the evening as well, yeah. The morning and night, twice a day, you have to be mechabel al malchus shemayim. So therefore, so the Rashba says that the Kabbalah al malchus shemayim means everything else is out of your mind. The only thing you have in mind now is Hashem hu Elokim, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokim, Hashem Echad, Mekabel al malchus shemayim. That's what the Rashba says. Therefore, if your mind wanders in the middle of Shema, you're not yet Yichiv of Shema. So now getting back to Rosh HaShana. What is Rosh HaShana? Rosh HaShana doesn't say a word about Tshuva. It doesn't say anything about Tshuva in Rosh HaShana davening. We're not asking Hashem for forgiveness. What are we doing in Rosh HaShana? HaMelech. HaMelech. HaMelech HaKadosh we're saying. We start after Pesukah de Zimra, we start with HaMelech. Everything is HaMelech. If we look in the Rosh HaShana davening, it's all v'chein tein pachtecha. We're talking about the kingship of Hashem. How Hashem rules over the world, and it's only Hashem. Everything else is not Negeya, only Hashem. Now what is that? What are we doing with Rosh HaShana? We're Mekabel al malchus shemayim. That's what we're doing. Comes time to Rosh HaShana, we're Mekabel upon ourselves that Hashem is the King. That's Kabbalah al malchus shemayim. That is what Rosh HaShana is about. After that, after we're Mekabel upon ourselves al malchus shemayim, then we'll go back to Hashem and say, okay, now please forgive me. Asher Shemei Tshuva, and you have Yom Kippur. That's after we understand who we're dealing with. You can't go over to somebody and ask for a slicha kapara when you don't even agree that he's the one who could do it for you. First you have to recabel Hashem is the one who runs the world. After that, you go ahead and you can ask Hashem for mechila v'slicha v'kapara. That's why Rosh HaShana and davening, the main part of Rosh HaShana and davening is all malchiyos, zechorinus, is not asking Hashem for forgiveness, that Hashem remembers everything. That means we're showing that Hashem is the one that runs the world. That is
crowning the Melech.
Crowning the Melech. That is what Rosh HaShana davening is about. You look through Rosh HaShana davening, let's see. There's very little about tshuva in the davening. Most of the davening is Malchus, that Hashem is the King, and we're acknowledging that Hashem is the King. So if that's the case, if Rosh HaShana is Kabbalah or Malchus Shemayim, you establish the restriction, exactly what it is. And afterwards you're going to him and you're asking him for forgiveness. If that's the case, now we understand the Zohar very well. It comes time to Rosh HaShana, Atem Netzavim Hayoim. What is Pashas Netzavim anything to do with Rosh HaShana? The Torah says nothing. The word Netzavim Hayoim, L'fnei Hashem Elokeichem, is what the Zohar is saying. Atem Netzavim, today, Rosh Hashanah Netzavim, you're Oymid, you're not a Hoylech. Meaning, if you're Hoylech and you're going, you can't be Mekabel Malchus Shemayim. You have opposite, you have to be an Oymid now. You have to stop and be Mekabel upon yourself al Malchus Shemayim. Meaning, everything else is pushed aside. The only thing I'm doing now is being Mekabel al Malchus Shemayim. And what does that mean? What does that mean? How so Mekabel al Malchus Shemayim? We all believe in Hashem, right? We all know Hashem runs the world, and we have no sveikas about the Baruch Hashem. It's not our issue. So what does it mean that it comes to Rosh HaShana, we're Mekabel upon ourselves al Malchus Shemayim? The answer is that we all know Hashem runs the world. We all believe it. The question is, do we live it? Every step in life do we go on and living that Hashem is the one that runs the world. And I'll give you a joke that I said over yesterday that I heard once, but it brings the message home. Could be I said it here once, I don't remember. There's once this person...
We always remember a joke.
Yeah, so we'll see if you remember this one. There's once a person who had to marry off his daughter. And
it's no joke.
It's not a joke. And he needed money to marry off his daughter. So he went in the Arizal Shul, and he went up all the steps to the Aron Kodesh. He opened the Aron Kodesh, and he's davening to Hashem, he should help him out, he should send him money to be able to marry off his daughter. Finishes, he closes the Aron Kodesh, and starts walking down the steps backwards, and has reverence to Hashem, to the Kodesh, and he goes down 1 or 2 steps, he trips, and he falls, and it says, he breaks his bones. And he gets up and he says, if you don't want, it's fine, but don't push. Now, it's a joke.
I heard that one.
You never heard, right?
You would have remembered that. You would have remembered that.
He says, if you don't want, fine, don't push. Now, how do we look at that? It's a joke, it's fine. But a person who lives Hashem, that's the way he feels. If he fell and he tripped, then I just stop into you, I ask you for something, I walk away, and also I fall and I break my bones. It's only because Hashem did it to me. Right? Don't push me. Okay, don't give it to me. Don't push me. Right? We daven to Hashem every morning, we ask for things, we go on our day. The things that we ask for, 2 minutes later, we could do something else. Why? Because we're mismanaged and we're davening to Hashem, then we're living Hashem. But the second we go into the world, into our daily business, then we also, unfortunately, we forget about it. No one's at fault, but that's the way it is. That's what Rosh HaShana is. In order to be able to Mikabel HaMalchus Shemayim, we have to be an Oim, we have to stop. And what's the answer for that? It's not easy. Every day, to constantly be living Hashem is not an easy thing. It's hard. And every step we take to think, what does Hashem want now? Does he want this? Does he want that? So in the pasuk it says, it says, and you should choose the good.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This is one of the few days that we actually know the date of Hayom.
Right.
Because actually, I think it's the 7th of Adar, right?
Right.
Because it's the day that Moshe Rabbeinu.
Correct.
So it's not Rosh Hashanah.
Yeah, no, right. But Moshe was saying, at the 7th Hayom, the Zohar made it to remes Rosh Hashanah. It wasn't Rosh Hashanah.
Because it's called Hayom.
Yeah, it was called Hayom. So if you look in the pasuk says, and you should choose life. Now, if you look at the pasuk, it's very simple. Hashem tells, I'm giving you life and death. Of course. What's the pasuk telling us? I mean, if someone has a choice, life or death, of course you choose life. So what's the pasuk telling us? Hashem's is giving us a message that you should choose life. We all know you have to choose life. What's the pasuk telling us? The Kubib Shah is Hashem is not giving you advice to choose life. Hashem is saying a person knows what's Toiv and what's Ra. What's Chaim, what's Moves. Chaim means a Chaim, a life of Torah mitzvahs. Like we said, there was once a person who was very shidduch, and he asked information about the girl's parents or grandparents, and they said, how about the girl's grandfather? Yes, Shatan said he's not alive anymore. Okay? Not alive anymore. You don't have to ask any questions about him. The chassan's father comes to the chassan and he goes into the other side and he sees a guy sitting there in a chair wearing sneakers and a polo shirt and a little unshaven, missing a few teeth. And he asks somebody, who is that? He says, that's the Kala's grandfather. So he says, the Kala's grandfather? He has a shikr. I mean, look at him. He says, that's the Kala. You didn't know about it before he did the shidduch? He says, no. And he goes over to the Shatch and makes the Vayitzaku. He says, I asked you about the grandfather. He says, not alive. And look, here he is sitting there, a shikr over there. So he says to the chassan's father, tell me, that's called living? That's called alive? Uvecharta b'chayim. What does Uvecharta b'chayim mean? Uvecharta means a real life. Hashem is telling you, Uvecharta b'chayim, take the real life. But Hashem is also giving us a Pesach over here. Uvecharta b'chayim means, Hashem is telling us, doesn't say you should do chayim. Doesn't mean you should do the way of life. Sometimes it's hard. Hashem is telling us, it's enough. For me, it's enough if you want to do it. Ubacharta b'chayim. Choose that path. Once you choose that path, ubacharta b'chayim, then Hashem is happy with it, and eventually you'll end up going into that path. But at least it should be a b'charta b'chayim. That's why Rosh HaShana, when it comes down to Mikabel Amach Shemayim, we want to be ubacharta b'chayim. Just at least choose the good, show that's what you want to do, and eventually you'll end up going in that path. In the Seres Tshuva, in the halachas brought down that people are makbid on pas palter. Even though all year you're not makbid, we are makbid on pas palter during Seres Tshuva. Some people have other chumras that accept upon themselves on the Seres Tshuva. And the obvious question is that who are we fooling? Comes on the Seres Tshuva, you do it for 10 days, and then we go back to the old way. So what a lot of people say is, you're showing what you want to do. I think there's a much better shot than that. And I always say it with a mashal. Everyone has a house, the way the household runs. When there's no guest in the house runs a certain way. Now everything's in its place. You find toys on the floor, shoes on the floor, whatever it is, dirty dishes lying around. But everybody's house, whatever it is, no one's house is spotless 24/7. And if it is, something wrong. But no one's house is spotless 24/7. Everyone has the way the house runs. There's certain things lying around. Yeah. What happens when you have a guest coming to your house? What do? You clean up the house. Now the guest comes into the house and he knows that 10 minutes ago, before he came into the house, it wasn't like this. He knows you cleaned it up for him. So are you fooling him? No, I'm not fooling him. I'm respecting him. I'm giving him respect by cleaning up my house. Now if someone comes to your house, a guest comes to your house, and you're not going to clean up the house, you're going to say, listen, this is where my house runs. I'm not going to fool him. Right? I'll leave the house the way it is. What happens is you're not fooling him. You're showing him disrespect. Because when a guest comes to your house, you clean it up and make it look nice. Our Seres Tshuva is a time that Hashem comes closer to us. Hashem comes close to us. Our Seres Tshuva. We have a guest amongst us now. Who's the guest? Hashem. Hashem is coming closer to us. If we're not going to act better when the guest is here, we're not fooling Hashem and our Seres Tshuva that we do things we don't do all year round. In respect to Hashem, we act differently in these days. That's why in these days people are makal upon themselves extra chumras they don't have all year. Why? In respect to Hashem, to acknowledge the fact that Hashem is here. So how are we makal upon ourselves? Al Malchus Shemayim. That's our avodah now for Rosh HaShana. We're makal Al Malchus Shemayim upon ourselves by showing respect that we know Hashem is here, is closer to us, and we're makabel upon ourselves extra chumras. We should all figure out something that we should makabel upon ourselves for Seres Tshuva. We should all have a ksiva teva and a good convention.